at you with another video. And today we're gonna be looking at a situation where a rapper done killed his friend high on some shrooms. Shit don't even sound right, G. Before we get into this, man, I want y'all to take that 10 seconds. You already know what it is. Get your mind right, and we gonna get into it.
Stupid, like being like a hood baby. I did shrooms, like 3.5, like the caps.
Oh.
And I tripped out. I couldn't talk. I was seeing fucking flying dragons coming at me, like when I closed my eyes. But my friend, who people used to call weird and shit, he was having a great time, and it really bothered me. You know what I mean? I see something was wrong with myself. I feel like it just triggered from shrooms. I knew something was wrong.
Really?
And then now when I come around, like fucking 10 years later, I'm like scared, but I'm like, wait, I'm successful, everything's good, me in the penthouse chilling. I have a buddy who's like a sports agent, and he just brought me these chocolate bars, the mantra bars or whatever. So
Okay.
let me just eat like half this bar, fuck it.
Yeah.
And it did wonders for me, bro.
Like
Brought me
what,
my
though?
confidence back. It took my self-doubt out.
This is amazing.
I
Really?
started creating, like, being more decisive when I create, like just picking shit and sticking with it. There's a teddy bear on my speaker, I see him blinking while I'm making beats, crazy shit.
Damn.
Took the self-doubt away. So I'm getting melodies from my subconscious, bro, that's just coming out. Like,
Yeah.
and drum patterns, like I don't even know where I'm getting them from. Like,
This man is arrested for the murder, which his family says was his best friend.
Paul been in my house
Yeah,
dozens of times, ate with us, joked with us. I called each other twins because they look so much alike. I said, Chris, don't go. It's so late. Just go back to sleep. He's like, no, I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit. And I knew in my stomach something wasn't right. I knew it.
Christopher is investigating after a man was found shot to death inside of a Valley apartment. Yesterday afternoon, officers conducted a welfare check near H Street in Owens. Once inside, officers found an unresponsive man suffering from a gunshot wound. The man pronounced dead at the scene. Police did not release any suspect descriptions or anything like that, but anyone with any information is urged to call Crime Stoppers 702-385-5555.
You know, a harsh reality that we never talk about with a lot of these stories that we talk about on this platform is that a lot of times it's somebody we know. Here it is, we have another story that's based out of Las Vegas. A mom losing her son, all because her son's best friend, a person she fed, a person she watched, a person she let inside her home, a person her son considered a brother, and took his life for his reason because of mushrooms. Fam, I can't make this up. We're going to discuss what a mushroom is for those who don't know. We're also going to discuss the details of this sad case. Before we get into this one, remember family, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. Now, if you go to a poll of people who take mushrooms and ask them how it make them feel, you probably 9 times out of 10 will get different answers. And that's mainly because it's a hallucination high, meaning it intensifies the current mood you're in.
You do know you're gonna die. Fucking surely, you do know you're gonna die. All right, so
Now that clip, that was from the legendary Mike Tyson, briefly explaining one of his experiences with mushrooms. Now the reason I brought all that up today in this video is because today, the story we're gonna cover, based out of Las Vegas, just so happened to be between 2 best friends who ended up taking mushrooms while making music. One thing led to another. One best friend took the life of the other. See, 3 weeks ago, a mother claimed her son was killed by her best friend after he was found dead in a Las Vegas apartment. Now, according to the Las Vegas Police Department, this happened at around 2 p.m. on a Sunday, while officers were conducting a welfare check at an apartment in the 1300 block of H Street. Inside the apartment, police said officers located an unresponsive man who was suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Medical personnel had responded and pronounced the man deceased on the scene, according to authorities. Now, up until 3 days later, the suspect name or the victim's identity was yet to be released. But Las Vegas police said on the Wednesday that detectives identified 20-year-old Paul Abercrombie as a suspect in the incident. Now, this is a recent mugshot of Paul. Now, we're going to explain later in the video why that's an apparent gunshot wound to his face. Now, according to the LVMPD, they had Paul in custody just the day before they made the announcement and had him in Clark County Detention Center for open murder with a deadly weapon. Also, during that news conference, the Clark County Coroner's Office had confirmed the victim's identity as Christopher McCurry, 20 years old. Officials said his cause of death was determined to be multiple gunshot and stab wounds. His matter of death was a homicide, according to the coroner's office. And as we mentioned before, according to McCrae's family, Paul was his best friend. friend.
For the murder, which his family says was his best friend. 20-year-old Paul Abercrombie faces murder charges in the death of Christopher McCary, who was also 20 years old. Mike Allen sat down with McCary's family today and shares their story.
Metro Police say Christopher McCary was found dead Sunday with stab and gunshot wounds in an apartment that McCary's mother tells Fox 5 belongs to the man who's charged with killing him.
Paul been in my house dozens of times, ate with us, joked with us.
Keonta's McCary says she was blindsided by her son's death and is also shocked at the person police think killed him.
Chris and Paul called each other twins because they look so much alike.
She says her son Christopher was best friends with Paul Abercrombie, who's been arrested and charged with his murder. Keonta's talked about the late-night call her son got from Paul to hang out last week.
I said, Chris, don't go. It's so late. Just go back to...
Now, I'm gonna get into this little situation, man, because they broke down the situation a little bit, and man, it's sad to say, but honestly, bro, I don't give a fuck how high you are, bro. If this is something you consistently do, this is you, like, just like a motherfucker that smoke weed, bro. There's only so much weed you can smoke until you're adapted to the shit. You feel me? I don't care how high you is, how drunk you are, any of that shit, G. You weren't high, nigga. You decided to kill your best friend, nigga. That's what the fuck that was. That's what the whole this shit seemed like. It seemed like, nigga, you decided you were on shrooms. You were on psychedelics. Don't get me wrong. Both of y'all probably are on psychedelics. But this shit looked like you decided to kill your homie, folks. And that's just straight up. Sad to say, G. I'm sorry that this boy mama over here got hurt. This man was 20 years old, G. This man was still a damn baby. I'm still a damn baby, and I'm older than this motherfucker was. Hit different. Man, but I'm just giving y'all my thoughts, man. It's your boy Prodigy Beats, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, G. And I'm